Hey everybody, and welcome back to NW Farms. Move you up a little closer. This afternoon we've got our new exhaust elbow in here, and a new muffler and stuff. I would like to have worked on the air conditioning, but I bragged on UPS whenever I ordered all my stuff, and they have been like the blame post office and FedEx. So right now I'm not real happy with the big brown truck because they've kind of got me in a mess. I'm gonna see if I can track the UPS man down tomorrow and find my other package. It says it's at the DC that all of our packages are shipped out of, but it's not at the house, and it's been there 3 days. So maybe I can find it and figure out where it's at. But so with that in mind, continuing on the saga of the 4640, we've got our brand new exhaust manifold elbow. This guy right here, $185 for this gentleman. Depending on where you purchased it from on eBay, it could be as much as $250. That does not include a muffler. A muffler is $175 without an extension. The extension for the top of it ranges between $80 and $95, which we did not purchase right now, for a piece of pipe. Yeah. So we're ready to sling this guy up here. I'm gonna take a wire wheel and clean the donut up and get the carbon off of it. And then we'll put a little grease on the inside and then see if we can get that guy to bolt up. Okay, the other day I actually went ahead and chased all the holes here with a tap. They're just a 3/8 by 16, just a regular coarse thread tap, so all you need to do that. I do have one of them that has a bolt broke off in the bottom of it. I'll just be honest with you, I didn't expect to get it out, so I didn't even fool with tapping it or drilling it out. So what I did is I just chased the 3 in the other side, and we got 4 bolts up here at the top. It didn't have but 2 bolts tied in it whenever I took it off. So if I put one more in it and make sure all 3 of them tight, it's gonna be better off than what it was before. So I'm gonna put 3 in here, and then we'll put all of them in up here at the top on the bracket. So see if I can turn y'all. We're in the golden hour. It's not helping my complexion any. Love that. Let me get our muffler. We'll set our muffler on there. I haven't decided yet. We got to redo the nose cone on this tractor because I can't find one. So Bruce is going to fiberglass it back on the corners where it's busted. And I kind of been contemplating running this tractor for a little bit without a hood on it. Just so we can see if we got any oil leaks, any of that kind of stuff. Because you can't put the nose cone on with the hood on, so you're gonna have to take the hood back off. But I got a new top for the air cleaner, so we'll put the stack on and put the muffler on, and it'll at least look like a tractor. But if you look at a lot of these tractors, they don't all have a real tall air cleaner on them. Some of them, they actually mount the cleaner just like that right there, right on top of the hood. But this one had a tall exhaust or cleaner on it, cleaner stack, and then it had a regular muffler. It didn't have an extension on it. It had a rain flap. These blame mosquitoes. But we're gonna see. I may just pick us up a piece of pipe in town and be cheaper than $90. So let me grab our muffler and stuff. All right, so we got our new muffler, got our air stack on there. You can see the muffler is about 10 inches shorter than what the air stack is, which is not ideal because what it'll do is it'll soot the air filter up. So you can do one of two things in that situation. We take the stack out, cut it, drop it down, or we can get us this extension, and I'll probably get us an extension, but let's see what it sounds like with a new muffler on it. Like I said the other day in the video, this tractor is going to be used to pull the mower conditioner more than likely. Somebody questioned the other night, why so much horsepower if all we're going to do is bush hog and bale hay with it? This is not going to be a tractor that's ran on the round balers. And I commented back to that person, and if you're watching, I don't remember exactly who it was that commented that and asked that question. And I hope you didn't take me as being hateful, but we have a large square baler. So we have a Heston 4755, which bales a 3x3 by 8 foot long, or up to 8 foot long, large square baler. It takes a 1,000 horsepower tractor, and that baler weighs in about the 15,000 pound range when you get hay in it. So they suggest that you pull that baler with a tractor that's weighted the equal amount as what the baler weighs. And so this tractor would be in that weight class. But the main thing it's going to pull more than likely is the C450 mower conditioner, and that'll relieve the 4440. And people think that, and my grandpa was this way. The older generation of people, don't get mad if you're older, and when I make this statement, but they thought if a implement called for 50 horsepower, that if we pulled it with a 50 horsepower tractor, that was enough horsepower to pull that implement. But what they didn't realize was, and most people don't realize, that engine peak horsepower is at 75% of the engine's rated horsepower is where PTO power comes from. So anything, think about it, if we're running a 200 horsepower tractor on the C450, I looked the specs up the other night, and that mower requires between 100 and 150 horsepower to pull that mower. And my C450 has steel on steel, what's called the V10 conditioning rollers, which are steel meshed interlock rollers. That is one of the most horsepower required models there is. The other one that would require more would be frails. If you pull a mower with frails in it, you know how hard it is to pull that mower and get those frailers spinning like it needs to. So this tractor is in the 150 PTO range, horsepower and PTO. But the 4440 is in 120 horsepower range. I don't suspect that my 4440 has any fuel turned to it. Everybody's gonna say, turn the fuel to it, turn the fuel to it. Okay, the problem is if we turn fuel to that tractor, yes, it would probably take it for a while, but we're causing premature damage to the engine because we are running that engine outside of the set parameters that John Deere deemed that it would be good to run in. So we're going to shorten the lifespan of that engine, and that tractor is in 100% workload labor all the time. Whereas this tractor is not going to be laboring the same amount as what the 4440 is going to. So the main goal for this tractor is to pull the mower conditioner. It may at some point in time pull the large square baler. I don't know how much will run the large square baler. We broke it last year trying to learn how to. Heath and Isaac were in the field with me, but none of us knew anything about what we were doing. And so that was a big learning curve for us, and we learned that we didn't know anything about what we were doing and broke some stuff. And I didn't fix it this winter. We don't have a nice big heated shop. When I work on tractors, there's a reason why we're working on them outside. Or you may see me working on them in the barns, in our old hay barn or something. Here at the farm, my grandpa got sick before we got equipment as large as what we have now. And so our shop here at the farm is only like 25 by 25 and has like a 10-foot tall door in it. So we don't have a 40 by 80 shop with a 20-foot wide, 20-foot tall door in it and 18-foot sidewalls. So a lot of times if it's really cold weather in the wintertime, you go back to the videos in the winter and you'll see me all bundled up in bibs and a jacket and a hoodie and gloves and freezing my tail off. We don't have a shop. That's one of those things that's a wish item. I've always said when my ship came in, I was going to build one. We're still out in the ocean trying to gather up money. But we make do with what we got. And so Grandpa got sick before we ever expanded the farm to the acreage that we are now. So these tractors are all too big to go in the shop and work on them. So, and the baler is too. The baler would take the whole shop up. So I didn't work on the baler this winter. But that's the game plan for this 4640 is pull the mower conditioner. My goal, and I know a lot of y'all watch these videos, and people ask me, I had boys asking me in class yesterday, how many tractors do you have? I'm not going to answer that question. I know that's like, go ask your wife how many pairs of shoes she's got. We won't discuss that. And so my goal is to have a tractor hooked to every implement that we run throughout the year. And more or less, that tractor stays pinned on that implement. So that when it's hay season, this tractor's already hooked to the hay mower. We just go out there, check all the oils and everything, and take off. And so we're getting close to that. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But other than that, that's going to do it for tonight's video. Hope you enjoyed the 4640. I'm going to create a playlist for all this 4640 stuff so that they'll all be in one location if you want to go back and view them. I cannot believe how popular these videos are. The 4640 series, the rescuing it has just blowed up, and I can't get over how popular they are. The good news is we might have a few more stuck away in the weeds at different places that we've been meaning to get out and work on. As much as y'all have enjoyed this, we may have to go dig some out of the weeds and see if we can continue this hot streak of rescuing tractors and bringing them back to life. I can't guarantee they're always going to be green, so don't fall out with us if you see orange ones or red ones or any other brand. Somebody asked me the other night what brands we didn't run, and I think pretty much Massey Ferguson is about the only brand that we don't have anything of. But either way, thanks for stopping by, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, leaving comments, liking the videos, the whole 9 yards. We wouldn't be having the success we're having if it hadn't been for all y'all. So thank you.